For where? For this nation. During this talk, we are going to look at how you fit into the whole scheme. And then, I also want to say one thing. Our parents are here today. Ẹ̀yin òbí wa, ẹ rí wa pẹ́ o. Ẹ jẹ́ wọn mọ̀ pẹ́ o. They have labored all their lives and the rest. And some of us will be asking them, what's their retirement plan? We are the retirement plan. We are the what? Retirement what? Plan. So, it's not an issue of gratuity to us. So please take note. You are the what? The retirement what? Plan. Yorùbá will say, owó tí wọn ò bá fi dájọ́ ó lọ fi rán wa léwe. So why making the retirement plan ní ògbẹ́ni wa? Okay, this is going to be the outline of my presentation today. Conceptual clarification, and I will be talking about engineering and then bridging the gap and the rest. So this is just a brief about me. I'm the present head of Department of Mechatronics Engineering, and I'm also the Director Center for Open Distance and E-Learning. As Paul of the Day mentioned the other time, we are learning from him. So about 2 years ago, we were here to ask him questions on how he achieved the ACE project. And also some months ago, we called him, Prof, how to do this. So he has always been there for us. So please, anytime you pass through me and the rest, always try to say hello to us there, and you can come for your postgraduate what? Education. Either here or there, Great Ife is always what? Great Ife. So, for this talk, let us just pay attention. Can we differentiate this one? Just let us look at this one. Spot the difference. Can we remember, or do we remember, or what's happening there? This is National Stadium Abuja, am I right? A1, am I right? What of that B1 there? It's also National what? Stadium at what? At Abuja. What's happening there? Any idea? Oh, okay. Let's look at this one also. Our president here, also at what? National Stadium what? Abuja, A2. But what's happening there? Also that same what? Place. National what? Stadium. Please take note of the number A1, B1, am I right? A2 and what? B2. Let's look at one more. Oops. This is A3, B3. Also, National Stadium what? Abuja. But is there anybody here that can say one or two things as far what we have shown there? What's really happening there? Any idea? First one is about what? This is about what? Football. But what is happening here? Anybody? Anybody? Yes? Okay, don't worry. The other B1, B2, B3. That was what? During the 2014 Nigerian immigration recruitment what? Exercise. It occurred on what? On Saturday. March what? March 15. 20 what? 14. What's happening? 6.5 million people looking or applying for a job of what? Just 4,000 what? Vacant what? Position. Let's do the arithmetic. Anybody? Now, bring out your mobile phone. I know you have your calculator there. Am I right? 4,000 divided by 6.5 million or 65 million or 6.5 million is going to give us what? Does that make any sense to you at all? It's telling you that the job that you are looking for may not be what? May not be there. So, that now leads us to asking this. The whole idea is that most of us, when we entered higher institution or our educational system, we had that bright mind. Bright what? Ideas. This is what I want to do. Am I right? But after taking this course, next course, and the rest, we turn to this. Am I right? Why? What is responsible? Anybody? Our what? Mindset. But some will argue it's our system. No, it's our what? Mindset. The other thing I want us to know is that, yes, are we going to continue to blame our education system? No. Though people have always been arguing that like now, look at this elephant, look at this monkey here, fish and rest, and the examiner is here, someone like us. Am I right? Like me, that we place my glasses and say, oh yeah, take this quiz. Am I right? So, and I said, for a fair selection, everybody has to take what? The exam. Am I right? And the exam is what? Please climb that what? Tree. What is going to happen to elephants? What's going to happen there? Elephant will feel what? Useless. Am I right? So, have you really been fair? Have you really been fair? Anybody else? Have you really been fair? We may say no, but the society that you are going to is worse than this. So you will now appreciate that we are what? We are being what? Fair to you. The last one is that we need to change, even at this point, as the Dean mentioned, and as the Chairman NSC mentioned, that let's try teaching children how what? To think, instead of what? What to think. So that's going to be the premise of my presentation today. So throughout this talk, I will be talking about how, not what. Do you get it? I will be talking about what? How, not what. So how to what? Think, and not what to think. So that when you get out there and you apply it, you will be what? Successful. So the first thing I want to point our attention to it is what we call sustainable. What do you mean by what? Sustainable. Anybody? Sustainable simply means what? To sustain something for what? And I mentioned one earlier just now that ẹ̀yin òbí wa iṣu ọmọ tó jiná fún wa yìí á jẹ títí dọjọ́ ogbó wa ni o. Títí dọjọ́ ogbó there means what? Sustainable. That what? It must be what? Continuous. Do you get it? So, without what? Depleting. Used to sustain it and such does not what? Damage the what? Surrounding environment. So, you will have heard about sustainable design, sustainable development, sustainable energy, and so on. So, but what do we mean by sustainable engineering? Don't forget, I'm still trying to establish the concept or to clarify what is called sustainable. Sustainable engineering is just what we call the process of using energy and resources at a rate that does not what? Compromise the what? Natural what? Environment. Environment. Or the ability of what? Future what? Generation to meet their own needs. Those are the things that we are talking about when we mention sustainable engineering. Let's look at engineering itself. Who can assist me with explaining the concept of what engineering? Anybody? Anybody? Okay. Let's look at engineering. Engineering is just the use of scientific what? Principle. To do what? To design. To what? And build machines. And build what? Machines. Structures. And what? And other what? Items. Including what? Bridges. This building, how we are sitting here, is a product of what? Engineering. So, in a nutshell, engineering is the application of what? Science. For the what? Optimum. When we say optimum, that is the highest, the best. Conversion of the what? Resources of what? Nature to the benefit of what? Mankind. So, an engineer is that person An engineer is what? Is that person that actually uses those what? Scientific knowledge to achieve what we have mentioned. But I want us to pay attention to all these keywords. Design, construct, and what? Maintain. Again, design, construct, and what? And maintain. Design, am I right? Construct or develop. Maintain. Those are the things you will be meeting outside this what? Environment. We have always been asking you dy or find dy dx. Am I right? Am I right? So when you get out there, you are going to what? Apply those dy and the what? Dx. We have always been asking us, when are we going to start applying this? And we have always been answering you. We have always been applying the y dx every time of your life. E.g., when you have a glass cup and you want to get it filled from a tap, you open it, am I right? You turn it gently, or if you want it to fill very fast, what happens? What happens? You don't open it just very low, right? You increase the rate, am I right? That is just it. So when you get outside there, what we are just saying is that we are now going to be using all those knowledge, mathematical expression, to design, to construct, and what? Maintain. Engineer will back, okay? A man shaking you, a man too consume. Ajíṣebí Ọ̀yọ́ ni o, láàrin Ọ̀yọ́ òjíṣebí abẹ́rẹ́ kankan. Engineer will never do like any other person. We have to what? Design, again, construct, and what? Maintain. Ajíṣekí ni o, Ajíṣebí Ọ̀yọ́ ni engineer. Ọ̀yọ́ òjíṣebí, engineer òjíṣebí abẹ́rẹ́ kankan. Listen. So these are some of the things you will be involved with. Apart from that, you are going to be talking about invention. You will be hearing about innovation. The dean mentioned it just some minutes ago. That innovate, invent, design, analyze, build, and what? And test. So these are some of the functions we'll be meeting as you go out of this university. So I won't talk so much about that. But these are some of the common fields: mechatronics, civil engineering, electrical, materials, and so on and so forth. Let us just quickly look at what is called what? Entrepreneurship. Enter what? Who can help me with Yoruba meaning of entrepreneurship? See, Ife is for what? For learning and what? For learning and what? If you hear or if you know any word and you can't give the Yoruba or you can't interpret it to your in your what? Local what? Language, you have not learned that thing. So the Yoruba for what? Again? You know, like in me or what? Agbára Eshogun. So it's not Ishawa. Yeah, Ishawa has to do with what? With what? Skills. So please let us always try to understand it from our what? Mother's tongue. So entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship simply means creativity plus what? Innovation. Creativity plus what? Innovation. When you hear about Kolonle Kodowo, it's about what? Creativity and what? Innovation. That is just what entrepreneurship is all about. That is, you have to come out with about thinking new things. Thinking what? New things. You cannot be doing what others have been doing and you expect new what? Results. It's either you now start to apply new what? Methods of doing it. So what is the main thing? Okay, these are some of the things that you will be handling. Innovation under entrepreneurship, you will be talking about risk-taking, vision, and organization. So Let's now look at engineering entrepreneurship. Our own is quite different from just buying and what? Selling. So that's why we have to look at engineering entrepreneurship. There are numerous innovations that you can do or that you can what? Participate in order to turn into what? Business. You will remember some minutes ago I showed us some picture, am I right? The next question I need to ask us is that why do we need to bridge the gap? Bridging employment gaps. Let me ask us, why have we even leave our parents at home and school ourselves here for 5 years? Why? Anybody? Why? Why have you studied that course? Anybody that want to share why? So, the first thing I want us to know is that employment is important at this stage. So, let us look at what is called an employment gap first. An employment gap is a period of months or years when the job applicant was not what? Gainfully employed at a job. Months, am I right? Years. May our whole never be years. May our whole never be months. May our whole be immediately we are leaving this hall, we are receiving a call for employment. But the most important thing is how prepared are you for that? Do you have the right skill? Or we just say amen, amen, amen. Yes, you can believe, you can, but do you have the right skill? So, let me quickly advise us here. As you are here now and you are about leaving, build and keep your network before you leave here. Build and what? Keep your what? Network. Look at that person beside you now. Just look at the person sitting on your right hand side and say, please, can I have your number? So, this is the time you can network. Collect the number. Also try to apologize for anything you might have what? Done. Apologize. Start to build your what? Network. And you keep it. Second thing is that stay active in professional what? Associations like NSC. You must be what? Active. You must be what? Active. Yorùbá will say, Taba fún kíní kan lọ́kọ, ọ̀dọ̀ rẹ̀ ló máa ń ṣe kíni o. If NSC, if they have slots, maybe at NNPC, do you think they will consider a non-member first? They will look what? Inward. So you have to what? Stay active in what? Professional what? Association. And then volunteer in community, social and civic what? Organization. Like they are organizing this event now. We expect some of us will actually volunteer so that they can issue us what? Certificate. Because you are now graduating. Two things, you are graduating at a time that we are trying to change from your resume to what is called portfolio. In the next few years, nobody will be asking you about your resume again. They will be asking you about your what? Portfolio. What are those things that you can do aside your what? Certificates? What are those skills? Next one is, you need to continuously update your CV, your resume. Keep it updated. How many of us have the resume here? CV? How many? Immediately after this event, you have to go and update. Inducted into what? NSC what? Blah, blah, blah on so date. Your resume must always be what? Up to date. Even if you want to start your own what? Business. Because when you are submitting your technical proposal or when you are doing technical bidding, you need to attach your what? Resume. Your resume must always be what? Updated. And then create a small business and work even for few hours. Some of us graduated on this campus. When I was on this campus, I used to sell electronic components. And at that time, there was no mobile phone. I used to assist people to go to Ibadan to buy Tokumbo. That was the era of what? Tokumbo radio, Tokumbo fan, and the rest. And you can make a bit of small money there. Are you with me? So it's never what? Too late. Some of your colleagues are not here for this. You can quickly start a business on that. Okay, I can help you facilitate your NSC certificate, this one. They have to pay consultancy fee, am I right? Consultancy fee at times can be up to 100,000 if you just want to do it free of charge. Yes, 100,000. Free of what? Charge that. Only I don't want to bill you. Just bring 100,000. Let me help you what? Facilitate it. Because you are using your what? Time. Start what? Small what? Businesses. And then enhance your skills. Enhance your what? Skills. So please take note of all these things as we go along. And then, what we are talking about conceptual classification. Why the gap? Why do we have that employment gap? Anybody? First thing I want us to know is that those of us from Lagos, we used to have Apapa Osho, the industrial estate. The last time I was there, the place we have a lot of what? Religious what? Organizations there now. What of Ikeja industrial estate? What has happened to that industrial estate? What of Ile-Ife industrial estate? We have this one at Ibadan also, around Ling Road and the rest. What has happened? Where is Exide Battery today? 5-star, Bonsin, yeah, half print, sunglasses, where are they? Some of us, our parents can actually say more about those what? Companies. Where are they now? So that means that you have to now be what? Innovative and creative if you really want to be relevant as you go outside there. First thing is that some of these companies are no longer in existence. Am I right? Most of them. Exide, Direct Battery, and so on and what? Half print. And then even those who are there now, they are facing the issue of what? Power or what? Energy. Lots of things are happening now. So how do you fit in? Don't forget, part of what you need in order to be what? To be relevant in bridging the gap, it is what you call ability to what? Learn, unlearn, and what? Relearn. Again, learn, am I right? Unlearn, and what? Relearn. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, let's even go around 30 years ago. SARS and MA, you will recollect some guys then that they were so powerful. They were so powerful. We used to call them Nighter Boys. Where are the Nighter Boys now? Where are the Nighter Boys now? Or, if you are so conversant with Ibadan Agodi, as you are going towards Div 2, you will see tent like this, and you will see people typing there. Am I right? Yeah. With lots of what? Typewriters. Where are they now? What has happened to manual typewriter? What has happened? What has happened? Some years ago, they were so what? Nighter Boys. You cannot even make local calls. Anytime According to our belief then, anytime they need money, they just what? Toss your line, and they will now ask you for owo akaba, ladder, motor, am I right? Cable, am I right? Where are they now? But some of them that were able to learn, unlearn, and relearn, they are still what? Relevant. If you are among the typists then, and you just say, I want to stick with my what? IBM what? Typewriter. And you fail to learn about today's what? Technology. What is going to happen? Oblivion. Let's look at it. There used to be a company called Kodak. Where are they now? Where are those companies? Kodak, am I right? Tudor. Where are they? Where is Kodak? Let us just ask ourselves. Kodak went into oblivion because they failed to what? Unlearn and what? Relearn. Where are the 90 boys now? So, and don't forget, at the beginning of this lecture, I showed us some of these pictures. Am I right? So, for you to be relevant, even I'm not telling you to be relevant because of yourself. Let's be relevant because of our what? Parents. They have what? Invested. They have what? Invested. Owo alata, owo elepo. Am I right? Owo osuwon and the rest. They have what? Put it on us. So because of them, let's even make up our mind that we are going to be what? Continuously learn, unlearn, and what? Relearn. Don't be among those we call what? Certificated what? Illiterates. Someone asked me at an event, can someone be certificated and at the same time be what? Illiterate? Yes. You can be certificated what? Illiterate. Once you don't know how to learn, unlearn, and what? Relearn. Then you are what? Certificated what? Illiterate. May our home never be like that. So, in order to be relevant, not only to be religious now, but you have to be what? Spiritually what? Intelligent. Spiritually what? Intelligent. So, that is when our case will never be like this. When we what? Learn, unlearn, and what? Relearn. That's when we will not be among the 6.5 million applying for just how many positions? 4,000. 4,000 vying, 6.5 million vying for what? 4,000 what? Vacant what? Positions. So, the next question is, how do we bridge the gap? Or, is there any gap at all? I've established that there is what? Gap. If 4,000 can be, if 6.5 million can be vying for what? 4,000 what? Positions. What's going to happen? And then again, we are now going to an era that your skills, you need to be what? Continuously updating it. 10 years ago, do we know about drones or UAV? That time you need an helicopter with cameraman and the rest, am I right? But with your drone now, with your UAV, you can fly and take shots at anywhere, any angle. Not only that, I mentioned just now that we used to have those what? Typists, am I right? Typists. Most of us now, we know how to use our computers, am I right? We can use computer very well, am I right? What's going to happen to typists? Someone asked some months ago or weeks ago that with the advent of robots and artificial intelligence, what's going to happen to them? What's going to happen? Anybody? Will automation or robotic, will it create more unemployment or create more employment? Is it unemployment or employment? I can't hear you very well. But it's not like that. Let's look at NITEC case. When they wanted to license all this GSM, people advocated that what will happen to NITEC people, am I right? But with the advent of mobile network now, or what has happened? We have created what? More what? Employment. But those who are able to actually what? Learn, unlearn, and relearn are the ones that will what? Benefit. With the advent of AI, artificial intelligence, robotics, and automation, we are going to create more employment for those who can what? Learn, unlearn, and what? Relearn. So the key thing is that you just have to know that you have to what? Continuously what? Learn. And at every particular point in time, you may need to what? Unlearn. In order to do what? Relearn. So let's now look at the whole thing after engineering as the process of using what? Energy and resources at a rate that doesn't what? Compromise. Am I right? That is sustainable. And then we have also established engineering. But let me now tell you what is sustainable engineering entrepreneurship. We have looked at entrepreneurship the other time as what? Creativity. Am I right? Plus what? Innovation. But when we are talking about sustainable engineering entrepreneurship, it simply means that creativity plus innovation, but with the base to be what? Sustainable what? Engineering. It's like asking you 2 plus 2. Anybody here? 2 plus 2? 2 plus 2, can you? 2 plus 2? Are you right? 2 plus 2? Okay, 2 plus 2? Base what? Am I right? Yes, thanks. So 2 plus 2 will only be equal to 4 when you are in upper basis that is greater than what? 4. But now you have assumed that my 2 was in what? Base what? 10. So if 2 in base 10 plus another 2 in base 10, then our answer will only be what? 4. But if my 2 is in base 3, and I'm adding another 2 in base 3, my answer can never be what? 10. Okay, can be 1, 1 to base what? 3. So when we are now talking about sustainable engineering entrepreneurship, we mean creativity plus innovation, but it must be to the base of what is called what? Sustainable engineering. Sustainable what? Engineering. Why do we need to actually make this to be sustainable? How many of us have seen elephants apart from the one in UI Okerenko, Ejo, Sebe? Because we have killed all of them, am I right? We never think about what? Tomorrow. So what we mean about sustainable is that so that those who are coming behind we what? We meet what? Something. So when we are talking about sustainable engineering entrepreneurship, we mean having your creativity and innovation under the domain of what is called sustainable engineering. So, this is the ideal relationship under sustainable entrepreneurship. Independent or student, the private sector, the entrepreneur, we have the regulator, we have the customers, and the what? Students. The whole idea is that this is the ideal what? Relationship under sustainable engineering entrepreneurship. All of us has roles to play. Let me put it in Yoruba form. During those times that we were kids, Or let me say it this way first. Yoruba will say, Àgbà kì í wà lọ́jà. Àgbà kì í wà lọ́jà. Our parents, whenever they see us doing or playing some games, that they know it may have what? Negative what? Impact. What do they normally do? They will what? Caution us. Am I right? Is it that they hate us and that's why they don't want us to do all those games? Am I right? No. So, all of us, we have different roles to play in what we call sustainable engineering entrepreneurship. So these are some of the things aside your dy/dx. You will see there that I put it that what you should have aside your what? dy/dx in order to play your role in under sustainable engineering entrepreneurship. First one is what? Communication. That was why I said try to communicate with that person sitting beside you. You have seen parents here. Don't just assume that you want to reach your parents only after this talk. Network with other what? Parents. You might be fortunate that they may be sitting at your next interview what? Panel. Communication. The next one is collaboration. Collaboration. The next person sitting beside you is not your competitor. Try to see him as your what? Collaborator. Collaborate with him. I just mentioned now that we have been collaborating with OAU, especially our dean. He has been our mentor, guiding us on some of these applications, how to go about it. That's why we can do what? We can easily achieve. Because he has passed through that road and he knows it very well. So he can guide us. And our own learning curve will always be what? Very short. Collaborate. The next one is critical what? Thinking. Critical what? Thinking. You cannot be doing it the way it has